Have you ever been to a zoo and watched the zookeeper tame a wild animal? What if part of your body was that wild animal that needed to be tamed? That's what we're going to learn about in this video, so let's get to it. Hey everyone, I'm Josh Golightly, and welcome to Welcome Life, where I hope to help you live a life different from the rest of the world. If you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button below. That way you can see new videos that I post every Tuesdays and Fridays. Did you know that the tongue is one of the most powerful muscles in the human body? That little thing right there that you take advantage of every single day, that you eat with, that you swallow with, that you speak with. You really don't even stop to think about it because, well, let's face it, it's there when you need it. You don't stop and say, hey, do I have my tongue today? You have your tongue. If the tongue is that powerful for just your body, just imagine how much power it can have on someone else. Just imagine how hurtful it can be to someone else, and also how loving it can be to someone else. The tongue is a powerful, powerful thing. No, I'm not talking about the tongue being some alien that you see like on TV where you stick out and it hurts someone and it bites someone. I'm just talking about thinking about the effects, the huge effects that the words you say have on people, that the words you speak have on people. I'm pretty sure some of you can relate to this story. I was bullied growing up. I had a speech impediment all up until my junior year of high school. No one really liked to talk to me because, well, they couldn't really understand what I was saying. That made people look down on me. That made people pick on me. That made people call me all sorts of names. It hurt me. It made me feel like a terrible person, like someone I didn't even want to be anymore. This wasn't physical abuse. This was verbal abuse. The tongue was the thing that made those words. The tongue was the thing that had that effect on my body. James chapter 3 verses 1 through 12 says this. Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, all able to keep their whole body in check. I don't know of very many perfect people in this world. When we put bits in the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and driven by strong winds, they are still by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It can corrupt the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. Man, that's pretty harsh. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. I love how James doesn't hold anything back here. It's time for all of us, Christians and non-Christians, to grow up. It's time for all of us to learn how to tame our tongue. Go back to when you were in middle school or elementary school, when you had this name calling game that went on. You said a name to someone else, they said a name back to you, they called you a name, you called them a name, and it's just ongoing battle back and forth, back and forth. It's time for us to grow up and stop cursing each other and start loving each other with our words. It's time that we stop this immature game and start coming together as one. That's the only way that we're going to change the world. It's to love and to stop with the hate and to stop all the lies and to stop all the cruelty. It's time we tame our tongue and start showing love instead of hate. Starting to show love instead of hate starts with you and it starts with me. Proverbs 12:18 says this: "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." Do you want to be one of those people that bring healing into the world? Or do you want to be one of those people that curse the world? I'm pretty sure I know which person you want to be. Very, very, very few of us want to be the person that brings cursing to the world. Many of us want to be the people that show love and that show the healing process that wants to happen. That starts when we tame our tongue and we speak those words of love to each other. That starts when we tame our tongue and start to speak words of encouragement and not words of hate. That we start to speak words over people that are loving and not over people that are condemning and hurtful. I believe that you want your kids, you and your kids, to grow up in a world that is loving and compassionate. Speaking of loving and compassionate, if you want to show me some love, would you mind hitting that like button down below? That would be deeply appreciated. So if you want the world to change, it starts with you. If you want the world to change, it starts with you changing how you speak. That's where it starts. 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter, starts like this: "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal." Paul talks about how our tongues, if all we're doing is speaking words and not speaking in love, then all we are is just adding to the noise around us. All we are is just adding to the rest of the noise and the rest of the hate that's around us. If you truly want to be different in this world, if you truly want to bring change in this world, it's time that we change the way we speak. It's time that we change the way we think. It's time that we change the way we act. And it's time that we show love instead of hate and speak words of encouragement over people. Let's go into this world and change a life. Let's go back to the beginning. Remember that I said that the tongue is one of the most powerful muscles in the human body? And just like any other muscle, this tongue needs to be exercised. Showing love to someone, taming the tongue, doesn't just happen overnight most of the time. It takes consistent practice to get those things done. And once you get that practice, once you learn how to start loving and not hating and speaking the words of encouragement to others, it will change you and the world around you. Remember the person that always showed love to us, who walked this earth thousands of years ago, but still loves us to this day, and that's Jesus Christ. He never stopped loving you. He never stopped caring for you. And he never spoke any words of hate to anyone. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there. That way you can catch episode 2 next week of turning to grace instead of hate. Also, if you want to watch other videos of mine, there's one right there, and there's whatever one YouTube decides to pick right there. So, I hope you enjoyed. Catch you next time.